Here's some tips for changing out Autoharp strings. Look at all these beautiful luthier ones, and then, aha, look at the string that I replaced a couple years ago. Definitely takes some practice for sure. First things first, make sure you have everything that you're going to need out on your work table. I like to work from my ironing board. You don't want to be running around, especially if you're nervous. Make sure that you have some safety goggles or safety glasses handy, blue painter's tape, key wrench, wire cutters, fine tuner wrench or screwdriver. If you have fine tuners, you may not. They're typically found on the more custom luthier harps. Make sure that you buy the right strings. You may need a package of Model B or Model A. You typically can buy them on reverb.com or directly from a luthier. So when you get your package of strings, they're typically going to come individually wrapped and numbered 1 through 36 or 37. They typically have a ball end on one end, and on the other side is going to be a straight end. And that ball end is going to go into the fine tuner or into that end if you don't have fine tuners, and it's going to go all the way up, and it's going to be strung through those larger pins. So before you begin, you want to make sure you take all your cord bars off of your harp, and I would highly recommend that you lay them out in the order that they were on the harp. So it's super duper easy to assemble your harp once you're done. Now this part is actually really important. You want to make sure that you're working from the outside in, alternating, because the strings are going to put an enormous amount of pressure on the harp. And if you work from one side to the other side, you may distort the wood. So you want to make sure there's even pressure. When you string through the metal pin and you start to turn it, you want to go really slowly so that you don't pop any strings. Now, this is just a me thing. I like to wait to the very end to cut any of my strings because you may want to adjust. And so that those strings don't scratch my harp, I like to put a little blue painter's tape flag on it. And this is just a painter's stick from Lowe's that I put some felt on in order to clean underneath the strings. Super handy. And then make sure you put all your cord bars back in the correct order, of course. And tune up your harp and make sure it sounds the way you want it to.